All right, everybody. So this is a completely unscripted video. I'm just going to talk out my ass because Transformers 1 is a new Transformers movie. It has a trailer. I didn't think I was going to react to this trailer, but you know what? Screw it. Enough people have nagged me about it that, you know what? I have a couple of things I can say about it. I'm a pretty big Transformers fan, so I happen to know a thing or two about those Transformers. So yeah, this is a new Transformers trailer. Transformers is kind of Paramount's only like bankable franchise at this point. Like I guess them and Sonic. So since they just got to keep rolling out those Transformer movies, they're taking a page out of Sony's book, and they decided that on top of the live action Transformers movie, they would also now release an animated Transformers movie. And the first Transformers animated movie is Transformers 1, this movie that has just been announced as a coming soon movie. So this is a pretty interesting movie. Like, first things first, if you guys are familiar with the original Transformers cartoon, there was an episode called War Dawn. War Dawn was like episode 43 of the show. It aired in season 2. And so this was an episode where there's like some time travel shenanigans, and some of the Transformers go back in time, and they go back to ancient Cybertron, to like the beginning of the Autobot Decepticon war. And they meet Orion Pax, they meet his girlfriend Ariel, who like later becomes Leda 1. And I think Megatron was there in the past. Anyway, long story short, Orion Pax ended up eventually becoming Optimus Prime. And so what Transformers 1 is it's like a deconstruction and an expansion on this one episode standalone story to try and make it into this like giant like epic space opera that it could be. Now the thing is, like, we already know how this movie is going to end. Like, based on what they've set up, this is a movie where Optimus Prime and Megatron are best friends, and at the end of it, Megatron just goes batshit insane and starts the greatest war that ever warred. Now, taking that at surface value, that is a pretty gross and gruesome story. However, all the hype for that gross and gruesome story went right out the window when the trailer actually came out, like, I don't know, Friday it came out maybe. And the trailer was Kung Fu Panda to hell. Like, this trailer looks goofy. It looks like they're trying to make this like a baby movie. And I don't really quite get it. Now, it might not be a baby movie. It might just be a bad trailer. It might be that like literally like they put every joke this movie had into the trailer. But that doesn't bode well in my book. Like, this like reminds me of like the Suicide Squad movie, the first one, where by all accounts David Ayer made like a gritty down-to-earth Suicide Squad movie. But then Guardians of the Galaxy came out and Warner Brothers like completely changed their mind after the fact and was like, hey, can you make this funny and add like classic rock music to it? So yeah, I kind of think that could be the case here. Or maybe I'm just completely wrong and this movie is just like start to finish a goofy story. Now, ironically, one of the scandals also coming out of this trailer is that people think the Transformers look too cute. So here's what's funny about that. Like, back in the day when like the first Michael Bay Transformers movie came out, like everyone lost their shit that the Transformers look like, you know, garbage all of a sudden. And they didn't look like their blocky cartoon counterparts. Well, this is finally a movie where they look like the blocky cartoon counterparts. In fact, like if you look at Orion Pax in this movie and you like compare him to the way he was presented in that episode, that War Dawn episode from 1985, they look fucking identical. So like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, have people gotten like so used to the Michael Bay designs that we're finally getting a movie that goes back to the original designs, and now people are like reverse angry for like the same reason they were angry about the Michael Bay movie? Like, it's kind of nuts. Like, there's no pleasing people. Like, people are going to be either mad that it doesn't look like Michael Bay or mad that it looks too much like Michael Bay. It's kind of nuts here. But yeah, so a couple of things about this movie. Yeah, right off the bat, it looks like this could be the most G1 movie we've had ever in like Transformers, because it is literally a random episode of Transformers expanded into a movie. So I'm cool with that. I am not super cool with how goofy it looks. Like, I think everyone was hoping this would be like a dramatic Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing. And instead, it just seems to be like baby's first Transformers movie. Maybe it won't be first Transformers movie. Again, I'm still hoping that the ending is like fire and brimstone, best friends stabbing each other in the back, betrayal leading to intergalactic war. But yeah, just like this trailer, I'm okay with the animation. I don't have problems with the animation like a lot of people, but the tone, what I have problems with is the tone. The tone is just way too jokey, way too friendly for what is essentially supposed to be the start of the 1,000-year Transformers war. Now, the other thing I will praise about the trailer is that I do like the art style. Even if I do think it is a little childish looking, you know, overall it has this like weird kind of like 80s retro aesthetic. Like it looks like they're trying to make it like a vaporwave like music video. Like look at this shit and like look at this like compared to like a retro 80s looking like vaporwave like CD cover. Like it kind of looks like they're doing like, did you ever see that episode of Teen Titans Go where they did like the Night Begins to Shine planet where like everything was like an 80s rock music video? I kind of feel like that's kind of what they're going for with like some of the color and the line choices that they've used here. Other than that, like, I don't know, man, like the jokes in this commercial are awful. Like I am not digging the jokes. The jokes like feel like they're straight out of like the worst Kung Fu Panda movie ever created. I haven't looked at the cast. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the cast right now in like live action. So yeah, Chris Hemsworth is playing Orion Pax. Brian Tyree Henry, I'm not sure who that is. He's playing D16, which is basically Megatron. Scarlett Johansson's playing Alita 1, of course. Keegan-Michael Key is playing Bumblebee, who's called B-127 in this one. All right, he's kind of been making like a name for himself, playing like short sidekicks lately. John Hamm is in this as Sentinel Prime. Lawrence Fishburne is in this as Alpha Trion. And Steve Buscemi is in this in an undisclosed role. Since the movie's just been announced, there's like limited cast confirmations. That's all we know right now. I like what they're doing with like the 80s punk look they kind of got here. And I guess this is like indirectly an origin story of how the Transformers got their like classic looks. I am a little bit bemused that one of the things they're pointing out in the trailer is that like this is the first time the Transformers learned how to transform. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe that's like a situation where they're like only some Transformers could transform and not all of them had the ability. Like maybe the ability was like locked behind like DLC or a paywall or something. But yeah, I'm not sure what that is really about because I thought all the Transformers could naturally transform as a defense mechanism. But then at the same time, like I got to think about like, why would the Transformers go transform into cars if they don't know what cars are? That kind of doesn't make a ton of sense to me, especially if theoretically speaking, this like would take place in like a billion BC before like cars were even a thing. I guess theoretically, maybe they're trying to like retcon that like the Autobots invented cars and then like gave humans the idea for cars. Maybe it's like some sort of stupid like reverse Ancient Alien shit like that. I don't know. I'm also like wondering how they're like working in like the Decepticons. I mean, I guess like this is literally like the story of how like Megatron went insane and created the Decepticons. So yeah, like I'm like very at odds with like on paper, this sounds like the bleakest, darkest Transformers movie ever made. But the trailer looks goofy. The trailer is full of like baby jokes. The animation looks cool, but a little too friendly for my eyes. So yeah, I'm a little bit at odds at like what this actually will be. Will it be a deep, dark Transformers movie? Will it be a stupid Transformers movie for 5-year-olds? I guess I'm going to have to wait and see. But yeah, they're definitely throwing some like money and some talent behind this. So I'm hoping it's at least good. Like I want there to be good Transformers movies. So I hope they like keep like that level of quality. I also heard Transformers versus G.I. Joe is actually happening as the next live action Transformers movie. Because yeah, they still don't know what they're doing with like the G.I. Joe franchise. So I guess like tying them into Transformers, they can't do any worse than that. All right, so yeah, I guess let me know what you guys think of Transformers 1. Are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to be Transformers' answer to Into the Spider-Verse? Do you think it's going to be a shitty movie for babies? Do you think it's going to try to compete with Kung Fu Panda? Let me know what you think in the comments. Good night.